Season 4 didn't really do much to change the meta. I mean, maybe it did a little bit, but for the most part, it's not really going to be noticeable. But since I haven't made a top 10 or a top whatever in a long time, I figured I might as well do it for this season and a half. So getting into it, I'm going to give you guys 3 sniper supports, and in my opinion, 3 best snipers right now that you can run. So to start off, you can have the BP50 for sniper support. Honestly, this is the worst out of the 3 that I'm going to show you, but it is still a really good option. So this is the first one right here. For the Kar 98, I still think the Kar 98 after the aim assist nerf is still the best sniper right now. I mean, when you have a one-shot damage range out to 75 meters, 900 bullet velocity, and you can ADS 400 milliseconds, like, that's a no-brainer, man. Now for the next sniper support, we have the Superior. Now this one is actually a really good sniper support build, low recoil, and you're still able to compete with SMGs with your sprint to fire being at 99, ADS being at 228. But in addition to that, your damage range is out to 17 meters. So this is arguably the #1, or maybe it might be tied with MCW, but we're going to talk about that one after I show you guys the Moors. Now honestly, I think the Moors is probably the 3rd sniper option you guys should run. You have a one-shot damage range out to 90 meters, 900 bullet velocity. ADS is kind of slow, but you know, that's kind of expected. And now moving on to the MCW, this is another sniper support. Now this one has a damage range of 16 meters. The time to kill is pretty much on par with the Superior, but this one's gonna have slower ADS speed and sprint to fire, and it may be a little bit harder to use, but not that noticeable. I mean, anybody can still pick this gun up and use it. So at that point, it comes down to your personal preference. Do you want an AR for your secondary or an SMG? And now for the Stalker, honestly, I think, in my opinion, the Stalker is pretty much the Kar 98, but it is a slower ADS and it has a much better bullet velocity. The one-shot damage range is 75 meters, just like the Kar. But like I said, the bullet velocity is so much better that I might actually start using this when I'm sniping just to see how good it is compared to the Kar 98. But yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with this one. Now moving on, let's talk about the AR. So for my top 5, I like to go off, you know, time to kill is most important for me. And then from there, I try to build these guns out to have like low recoil and somewhat good bullet velocity. But at the end of the day, we're playing Rebirth Island, so you don't really need bullet velocity that much. But now this SVA has been a popular gun since day 1. This build, you're getting crazy bullet velocity. And then a lot of people like to put this gun into a 2-burst option that basically gives it no recoil. Now, my favorite, if you guys been watching the channel for a while now, this has been my favorite AR by far. Even with it having 42 rounds, I don't care. I love this gun. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And it's super low key. Nobody uses that gun or even talks about it. But next up, we have the MTZ556. Now this one has been pretty popular amongst the pro players. I already have my favorite AR, or else I would probably use this one, because the time to kill across the board from 0 to infinite, this thing is actually really good, like no lie. And then next up, another gun that's popular with the pro players is the Holger 26. The build that those guys run, I don't really like it because they try to max out the bullet velocity because they're playing big map. But if you're playing Rebirth Island, I think anywhere between 800 and 1,000 bullet velocity is pretty good. And then the good thing about this gun is that if you guys, you know, don't prefer iron sights, you can actually take that off and put on this stock right here, and you basically get even less recoil on a no recoil gun. So moving on, now we have the Holger 556. Honestly, I think this one, I don't know, man. If the STB ever gets nerfed, I'm definitely taking this for my primary. Once again, the time to kill on this thing from 0 until infinite is really good. In addition to that, you can actually rock a suppressor on this gun and you won't feel the recoil loss in any way. Like the Holger 556 is heavily slept on right now. But now let's move on to the SMG. So once again, in my opinion, I think time to kill is king for SMGs especially. And then once again, from there, I try to build it out for recoil, but also a little bit of mobility. So starting off, we have the WSP9. This is a fan favorite. I'm not a believer in the WSP9. I don't really mess with it that much. I know a lot of people love this gun, and honestly, with the Superior being around and the FJX, there's no point even running that, to be honest. Now, the WSP Swarm, this gun has a crazy time to kill within 8 meters with this build. But if you can control the recoil and you can somehow manage to keep your gunfights within 8 meters, this thing is going to shred everything. It's just going to be a little bit tough to try to pull that off, but still a really good gun. Next up, we have the AMR9. This one actually got buffed at the beginning of season 4, and this is now once again a top 5 SMG in the game right now. If you guys actually do the the iron sight glitch, you can get some pretty clean irons. And then next up, what we have is the FJX. This one actually got buffed in the season 4.5 update, like yesterday. I have no idea why this got buffed, but it did. And with this build, we pretty much reduce most of the recoil that you can get with this gun. And the only thing you're really losing is a little bit of straight speed and ADS speed, but 200 ms for ADS speed is not bad, so that's still a really good build. And then lastly, with the Superior, I have two different builds. This has been a build I've been shredding with. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The ADS movement speed is crazy on here. It's almost 5 meters per second, which is a lot faster than any ordinary SMG build you're gonna see on the map. But the most common Superior build that I see so far amongst like casual players is this one right here. I know a lot of pro players actually take off the optic and they put on the high green right here, and you extend your damage range out to 16 meters. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I mean, honorable mention, you can throw in the brand new Spaz 12. This thing is pretty good if you run it like this, but for the most part, or actually if you run it like this right here instead, this is a consistent 2 to 3 shot kill. So yeah, man, there you have it. That is like my top guns right now for season 4.5 until season 5. If you guys enjoyed this video in any way, if you found it helpful, make sure you drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.